Patrick Lafcadio Hearn. Patrick Lafcadio Hearn was born on June 27, 1850 and died on September 26, 1904. He was an American journalist. He spent the latter part of his life in Japan, later marrying a Japanese girl. His interest in Oriental culture inspired him to write English version of well-loved Chinese and Japanese folk tales. He was an international writer. He was also known in the United States because of his writings about the city of New Orleans. Based on his 10 years stay in the city, he obtained a job as a reporter for Cincinnati Daily Enquirer. He died at age of 54 because of his heart failure. He was the son of Charles Bush Hearn and Rosa Antonio Kisimatis.
Patrick Lafcadio Hearn. Lafcadio Hearn, 1850 to 1904. His Japanese name was Koizumi Yakumo, was an international best known for his Japanese legends and ghost stories, Chinese stories, and for Americans particularly. His Buddhist stories written during 10 years residing in New Orleans. Hearn's multiculturalism as a writer was based on his experience living on several continents. He was born in and named after the island named Lafcadio, one of the Greek Ionian Islands. His father was Irish, the highest-ranking surgeon, while his mother is Greek. When they moved to Ireland, he was abandoned by both parents when his father moved to accept a position in the West Indies. Young Hearn was enrolled in a Catholic in France by his aunt, where he became fluent in French, and would later translate the works of the prominent author Guy de Maupassant, who attended the same school a few years after Hearn.
In 1890, Hearn traveled through Japan and fell in love with a woman of high samurai and remained there to write and publish legend ghost story. Fully steeped in Japanese culture, we particularly like Yuki Onna publishes in his collection Kwaidan Story and Studies of Strange Things, 1904.
Next, moving to the story plot. About 500 years ago, the celestial August in Yonglu ordered his bellsmith and molders to make a bell that makes a sound that reaches 100 li. This was spearheaded by Kuan Yu. They attempted to cast a spell, however, gold, silver, brass wouldn't melt together. When Celestial August knew about it, he was furious, yet he spoke nothing. The second time he heard of the issues, he warned Kuan Yu that if they wouldn't successfully cast the bell, he would be condemned to death. Kuan Yu has a daughter named Kongai. She is exquisite, but her heart is more beautiful than her face. She found the letter, read it and keep it a secret. She sold her jewelries and gold to pay an astrologer she needs to consult for an advice. The astrologer told her that gold and brass will never meet in wedlock. Silver and iron will never embrace until the flesh of a maiden is melted in crucible. The blood of a virgin is mixed in the metal fusion. In the third attempt, Kongai leaped in the crucible. Kuan Yu was in sorrow and could not do anything about it. They finished the bell with success. As the rang bell, it made a sound that's deeper, mellower, and mightier than any other bell.
These are the characters involved in the story. The protagonists are Kongai and Kuan Yu. Kongai is the daughter of Kuan Yu and the one who sacrificed herself, while Kuan Yu is a worthy mandarin and the father of Kongai. Celestial August is the antagonist. Celestial August, the son of heaven. Yonglo, god leader. And the other characters are astrologer, master molders, bellsmiths of the empire. The settings. The story is nearly about 500 years ago. The place was in the city of Peking and now known as Beijing in China. The conflict was known Kuan Yu and his fellow workers failed to make the bell that Celestial August ordered them to do. The theme. The theme of the story, the soul of the great bell, is all about life process because it is shown in the story of experiences of Kuan Yu and Kongai and what a child can do in order to save her parents, and also about a child's loyalty and respect to the elders.
Now let's move to the symbolism. The symbol in the story is a great bell. The part when Konyu didn't succeed in making the bell, he got a letter that is sealed with the dragon seal from Yongle. The emperors of China were identified as the sons of dragons. In fact, the flag of China is a dragon. It symbolizes power and strength. The letter from Yongle telling him that if he can make it successfully in the third time, he will be executed. In ancient times, long ago when you haven't made your task, a punishment will be given directly. Punishment is something that is given if someone does a wrong action. From what Konyu did, he didn't make a crime at all. We can blame the person who failed in doing the task and is unjustifiable to execute Konyu because we all know in the first place, he tried his very best in order the bell to be made successfully. After Kongai sacrificed her life for the sake of her father's life, the bell was successfully made. Until now, the bell that already lived for many years is still present in temple known as Beijing Big Bell Temple. And the city of Peking is now called Beijing, capital city of China.
These are Hearn's definitions of the terms used in the story. Fo means Buddha and is called Fo, Futu, Wood in various Chinese dialects. Fuyin is an official holding in Chinese cities, a position corresponding to that of mayor in the Occident. Guangzhou Fu literally means the broad city. The name of Canton, it is also called the city of Jinnai. Li is the measure of distance, and lastly, Tachung Zi literally means temple of the bell. Now, this is the video or story analysis. The Son of Heaven has instructed an official Guan Yu to create a bell that would be heard for 100 li. Guan Yu and his laborers worked hard to finish the bell. They showed it to the Son of Heaven, but the Son of Heaven was disappointed for the metals failed to mix with each other. They tried and worked harder for the second bell, but it was the same. The Son of Heaven was frustrated and ordered the death of Guan Yu if he cannot produce the bell on his third try. Kongai, daughter of Guan Yu, was afraid of his father's fate, so she had consulted an astrologer to help his father. The astrologer advised that it will only be successful if a maiden will be melted into the crucible. So on the day of the third casting of the bell, she leapt in the crucible. Guan Yu was devastated, however, everyone was surprised because the bell turned out to be more beautiful than the Son of Heaven has wished for.
Now the literary devices used in the story. The Great Bell. Now, the mallet is lifted to smite the lips of the metal monster. Hyperbole. All the little dragons and the high-tilted leaves of the green roofs shiver to the tips of their gilded tails under that deep wave of sound. Hyperbole. But also can imaginary since it describing the roof and the sound. All the green and gold tiles of the temple are vibrating. Imagery. Kongai. First with stupendous clang, then with immeasurable moon of gold, then with silver murmuring of hiyai. Onomatopoeia.